Hey guys, how's it going? This is Kaz. I am going to nitpick TJ's Japanese today upon his request.
こんにちは、皆さん。TJ です。
とても上手なんですけどね。こんにちは。Let's pick an example of こんにちは. Okay, I want to talk about N. こんにちは. There are two N's there, and the first N is noticeably kind of like very English because I think you're putting the tongue to the roof. Kon, you know, I hear that. But instead of doing that, try to say it by closing the throat in the back. Kon, like konnichiwa. Konnichiwa. Okay. So can you hear the difference? Okay. English way, konnichiwa, and the Japanese way is konnichiwa. Konnichiwa. Now, this is not just happening with N. Okay, so it's the same with every sound that we produce in Japanese. Like if it's G, like ga. English G is like ga. The throat is completely open. But we kind of close the throat and then ga. So the same is happening with N. Like a kon, like a tense it a little bit. So it's happening with G, even with M. Ma. When I say ma in Japanese, it at the same time as my lips closing, the throat is also kind of closing too. But the reason why it is really noticeable with N is because with N, the mouth is kind of open, so that's why I kind of hear it. And then people can kind of see it a little bit. You can't see it, but you can. I mean, N is just one example. And it's an example just because it's easily noticeable, the most noticeable sound when it is not the Japanese way. But the same thing is happening with every sound. That's my point, okay?
今日はカズさんの英語を今
日はね、カズさんの英語を
ピックしますが、
That's good. します。
この前僕のいとこ。
It's very choppy. That's good. いとこ, right? That's good. And the reason why it's being choppy is because いとこ. When you say T, you're also kind of tightening the neck or vocal cords, which is why I think you're being successful, you know. いとこ. If I don't do tightening, it's going to sound like this. いとこ, like a, you know, some kind of a resonation kind of goes on, like いとこ. So tight every sound.
Andrew を呼んでくるね。
That sounds good. And another way of tightening the neck, or what makes it easy to do that, is to use your neck is like holding the head, as opposed to the head just being placed on the neck. That's like a relaxed way, but hold your head with the neck intentionally. So sometimes people who look stiff in Japan, they tend to come from Tokyo region. I feel like their body movement is kind of like vertical, as opposed to like this. So when they sing songs, they tend to sing like this, as opposed to like this. Okay, so hold your head with your neck, and then it's easier to kind of tighten your vocal cords, I think.
ちょっと待って。TJ ありがとう。カズさんの英語は結構上手だけど、nitpick.
See, 上手だけど, you kind of stopped it there. So if you want to imitate, if you want to replicate 外国人 English, you can't stop. Like 上手だけど, but I think you're kind of, you know, I do that too when I speak English. If I'm speaking with a Japanese person, out of kind of like a respect, I kind of give some moment when I'm speaking to a Japanese people, I mean to a Japanese person, because, but it's like da, da, da. And I think in Japanese we call it sundome. Imagine there's sword, and I go, yeah, and then stops right in front of the head. That's called sundome. Sun means an inch, the old Japanese measurement. So sundome is like an inch stop, and that's what you do also when you speak Japanese, I think. Right now I'm doing this right, you know. Right, okay, let's go to the next one.
し合うね。よし、さっさと始めましょう。
さっさとですね。
いつもとちょっと違う出来事がたくさんあったので、まだ投稿できそうにないです。
So up to here, I hear no evidence of he being a foreigner.
そうですね。
That's good. そうですね。
今カズが言った。I see no evidence of he being a foreigner. 強調したのは he。
強調したのは。
でもそれは少し違うかもしれません。
違うね。I do remember American exchange students' way of speaking when I was in college, and I noticed they said 違う。違う。Yeah.
ね。なんか僕だったらですね。It sounds like 僕だった。Generally speaking, I feel like every time I teach Japanese people basic 5 vowels in English, they tend to go like this: ah, e, oo, e, o. They really round their lips when they say oo and o. So with oo and o, they like 僕だったら, you know, you wanna make this octopus face. 僕. I think, yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah. I see no evidence of he being a foreigner. 強調するのは多分 being の方が正しいかもしれません。
I think what you're doing correctly is that you I already said this, but stop. 正しいかもしれません。I think some Japanese people like myself do that, and that's really good.
でも、僕オーストラリア人だからちょっと違う。
オーストラリア人。僕ね。You can kind of clearly say it with the rounded. 僕。I think even when you hear Japanese people talk, and you are listening, you can go like a face. Like this is a default way of holding yourself. You know, I think.
違うかもしれないな。アメリカ人とかカナダ人だったら言うかもしれない。
アメリカ人とカナダ人だったらちょっとね。
言えないな。じゃあちょっと言えないな。
言えないな would be standard, I think.
ちょっと続きましょう。
続けましょうって言いました今。続けましょうが正しいです。
出ている I think that's fine. That's good. Sorry.
一つ目は、
Finally, I caught you.
Finally, I caught you.
I caught you. Yeah.
caught 言おうとしたんだけど、なんか got か called か caught の中、なんかそのどれもに聞こえますので、ちょっともうはっきり caught 発音した方がいいと思います。
実は英語ノートの本の中では20本、we teach in our book 英語ノート has 2 vowels actually caught instead of like caught, you know.
このバカな動画は本当にごめんなさい。
このバカな動画をですね。バカなですね。
ごめんなさい。でも
ですね。表情がね、歯がたくさん、ね、you're showing a lot of your teeth.
I think Japanese people, if they're from countryside, I think that's how they kind of speak. But if they're from like big cities, they try not to show their teeth and like, yeah. Also, if you do this, a lot of air leak out of your mouth, and then that sounds like a gaijin kind of, you know, your charisma comes out of your mouth almost. So you want to kind of tighten it and hold your head with your tightened neck, and movement is only vertical. And the default position of your mouth is like, and then with U and O, make sure your lips are rounded. Okay.
作るのも楽しかったし、絶対カズさんなら笑ってくれると思って。
笑ってくれるちょっと it's kind of quick, too quick. I feel like くれる. Does that make sense? I mean, sometimes there are long words. 笑ってくれる. I think you want to make your vowels kind of crystal crispy almost. Yeah.
アップしました。
ですね。When we begin speaking, we usually start from the closed position of the mouth, like this. But I think 外国人 people are like, your mouth is open and you're kind of breathing. So you gotta like, your mouth must be closed, and then it's almost like all of a sudden. It's a little bit like a Pearl Harbor attack kind of all of a sudden is, I think, Japanese approach of speaking. Yeah, I think so. Today I think is, yeah.
でも本当にニットピックしてほしいです。僕の日本語まだまだアクセントとかいろんな
僕の日本語まだまだ that's really perfect.
間違いがあると思いますので。
That's good.
ぜひ遠慮なく。
Okay, I really heard something very subtle. 遠慮なく. You know, remember my talk about N? I think I heard your tongue touching 遠慮なく. But just tighten your throat. 遠慮なく. 遠慮. I think you can hear the difference. 遠慮 versus 遠慮. 遠慮. Okay, tightening. Is instead of touching the roof of the mouth with the tongue. 100円 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 100 yen. Yeah.
僕の日本語にピックしてください。
なんか you're kind of moving the like this. I feel like you know Japanese people very well because I think you're kind of imitating this movement. Let me know if you like homestayed in Japan, or maybe you have a Japanese girlfriend or something, because how do you know that we tend to do this? 歯がね、たくさんです。ですね、一個指摘したかったところなんで、もう一回ちょっと、どこだったか。
いつもとちょっと違う出来事が。
カズさんの英語、このバカな動画は本当にごめんなさい。でも、なんか作るのも楽しかったし、絶対カズさんなら笑ってくれる。このバカな動画は本当にごめんなさい。
このバカな動画はごめんなさいということで、you know how you are like being humble to kind of admit that you didn't really, I mean, you're kind of how do you say, deprecating. You're kind of being humble there. And when we do that in Japanese, we show pain. We show a pain on our face. Like, バカの動画すいません. Like, バカ. Like this. And then I wanted to show you how Dogen does it well. Okay? This is what I found. Dogen's showing a pain on the face.
関西に住んでたんですけど、いやーもう関西弁がちょっとなんだろ
う。いやー関西弁がちょっとなんだろう。Like, you know, a lot of pain on the face, and that's why you need to show. I think you have been consistently kind of like smiling and, you know, like being shy sometimes, but replace it sometimes with painful expression, like ちょっとカウさんにトピックをしてもらいたくて So that's, I guess we do that when we are kind of like lowering our position vis-a-vis you, asking for something. すいません、Oh yeah, you can also make this noise. Yeah, I used to be a high school teacher in Japan. We have a big meeting, and sometimes we have to say our opinions, kind of like frankly. And when we do that, we go, ですね, it's kind of hard to say, but I have to disagree with you. So that kind of stuff, I think you can add to your, what's the word, repertoire or whatever. でもとても上手で、I hear you being kind of choppy very well, and maybe you have been to Japan, or yeah, I thought that there's something that you what I'm saying that indicates to me that you know Japan pretty well. Thank you very much for letting me nitpick you. どうもありがとうございました。いやー、なかなか難しかったですね。難しかった。っていう感じ。